Hi there, I am here to talk with you about the upside of Unrequited. So, this book was so cheesy and so reflective of high school that it just made me happy. It made me realize how much I enjoy kind of that awkward falling in love stage, and it also reminded me of how ridiculous high school girls are when they are, crushing and falling in love. And I just really loved the relationship development in this book and how the characters just felt so real. So, let's keep talking about it. So in this book, we have the protagonist, Molly, and I really connected with her. She was like me in high school, totally boy crazy. I was definitely that way, like Molly copy paste equals Ashley. Like Molly, I felt really behind compared to my friends who were all in serious relationships and I hadn't even been kissed yet. Also, Molly has a twin sister named Cassie, and I love Cassie. And their family is really modern. They have two moms it's a mixed relationship, and they also have a mixed race younger brother. And their family was built by not surrogacy, IVF and things like that, and it's just a really cool family dynamic to see. And because of these relationships, there's so much diversity in this book. Most of the characters are people of color or they're queer, and it's really cool to see a cast of characters that is so strongly diverse like this. And also, Molly and Cassie's family they're so supportive of each other, and they're so real and into each other. Like, they just are always just like, hey, like, come talk to me. And, the girls have, like, their certain moms that they talk to about certain things, and it's really cool to see that dynamic. Molly is really kind of down on herself a lot, which is one thing that I didn't really like. But she grows a lot as a character, but nobody really kind of pushed her to change. They're like, Molly, you're the worst, just change. They really strive to open her up to new experiences and meeting new people. And they never told her to be less herself or less anxious or less head over heels boy crazy. They just were like, hey, let's go, instead of, hanging out at home today, let's go to a party and maybe try some alcohol and just weird things like that. And Molly and Cassie, they have, along with having a great family system, they have a great group of friends that they hang out with. And the dynamic between all of the friends shows that everything isn't always easy, and that communication, even between friends, is just so important. And nothing's easy when you're young. Even just, hanging out with your best friends or your twin sister, you have to, be able to cross boundaries and open up to people. Last but not least, I really did want to talk about some things that I really didn't like about this book. Amongst all of its really great kind of quirkiness, there are some things that just really rubbed me the wrong way. The first is the formatting of the text messages. The formatting of text messages is so bad, and texting is like a huge part of this book. It's how all of our characters are kind of communicating with each other behind the scenes, but you can't really tell what's a text and what's the actual, story. So I'll show you a little bit here. Alright, so here are some of the kind of text conversations that really bugged me. So this, is supposed to be a text, but then it puts, a part of the story in it, and then more text, and then text, and then more texting. But it's the font is so similar, and it doesn't kind of format it any differently than the story, besides having a sans serif font and a serif font. It really drove me crazy. So like I mentioned before, Molly is really down on herself a lot, and one of the things that she's down on herself the most is about her weight. And like every chapter it's just Molly going, "Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm fat." And after a while it's kind of like, "Okay, we get it. You're, not as skinny as your sister or all of your other friends. You're, the thicker girl. But you don't need to keep reminding us." And it really just kind of broke my heart that that's one of those things that she focused on so much, when the story is, providing us with all of these other great qualities of Molly, and she's only focusing on her weight, and that kind of broke my heart a little. And finally, I just absolutely hated how much the teenagers in this book, they're all in high school, and they just drink all the time, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It just, to me, it felt really unrealistic and unnatural. Granted, I'm in my late 20s, and I maybe not am with the times of high school anymore, and maybe kids party more than they did when I was in high school, or maybe I was just one of those lame high school kids that never partied, but I just felt like in this book that they were partying a whole lot, and I felt like I was kind of watching one of those stereotypical, like, high school party movies, and I didn't like that part. Otherwise, I give this book 4 stars. It's a good read, it's quick, it's cheesy, it's romantic. It'll make you kind of want to be back in high school, but also glad that you're not. And I definitely suggest that you give it a read. And thanks for watching. Bye.